Should is an interesting word, right? Because the crux of being stuck and burnt out is this idea around should. What I should be doing with my life, what I should be doing with my business, what I should be doing financially in comparison to what? In comparison to everybody else, in comparison to people in my space. What you should be doing is what it is that you're called to do. If you're called to scale big, then you should be doing that, right? But again, where is that should coming from? Am I coming from a calling place or an obligation space? Am I inspired to grow? Am I inspired to scale? Or am I coming from a place of obligation? If you've cut your teeth in any ways, if you've done any of this work, you realize that coming from an place of obligation is just going to lead to more of the things that you don't want, as compared to coming from a place of inspiration and what's created from that space. The other thing that I would examine, where you're coming from and where these definitions are. What does that mean to scale big? Does that mean 6 figures? Does that mean 7 figures? Does that mean 8 figures? What does that mean to you? I think we always need to have something that is pulling us in a direction. I think that's really important. For me, I remember being at a workshop, and one of the things that the leader asked is said, hey, if it wasn't about the amount of money, but it was about the amount of service that you had in your heart, what is the number that you'd want to do every single month? And I think that's a great question to ask, because it's not about the obligation, and it is just about service. And for people who are watching this, the majority of them are going to be service-based entrepreneurs, service-based people that want betterment in the world. And sometimes we don't equate money to service. Sometimes we think that money is separate from service. So when you get like, hey, how much service is in your heart? How much good do you want to do in the world? How much impact do you want to have? How many lives do you want to transform? That becomes a very different question for most people. And maybe that can be the inspiration for how big you should scale.